Where are they all? What are you all... they've got new crew shirts. Have a look at... Can you see? Crew. Turn around, show them the emblem. Can you see that? Sweet and sour. There you go. First letter tonight. OK. All right, good. Thank you. First letter tonight. She decided to have an affair because it was easy to do. She thought as long as she would hide it, nothing would stand in her way. Second letter tonight. Why can't we treat these fundraisers for evil? It's very hot in here, isn't it? The same as we do those who buy child pornography and send them to prison. And the last, thank you, Mason. Last letter tonight, yes, a blow for all in community TV. It's quite obvious. Malcolm Turnbull doesn't have any compassion for much in this life other than the big commercial dollar because of his unilateral decision to take all community stations across the nation off air, and it's utterly immoral. All these letters, the crew won't be here, but the panellists will in about 10 seconds. Sweet and sour, don't go away. We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, 'cause baby, it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Gary Mitchell with you for a terrific episode, hopefully. And hopefully those people delivering will deliver. First up tonight, hello, Slim. How are you, mate?
Good to see you, Gary.
Nice to see you too, mate.
Good to be back.
Are you into the preparation for telethon yet?
Yeah, right in the middle of it at the moment. Yeah, there's plenty going on.
You were telling me it takes 9 months to get it all up to screen.
It's planned over 9 months, but the real concentrated effort sort of kicks in about a month ago.
That's amazing. For those people watching in the East, this is Western Australia's annual telethon, and it's a huge event, and per head of population, I think we raise more than anybody else in the world.
And it's one of the longest television broadcasts, live broadcasts in the world at the moment as well.
26 hours.
26 hours straight.
Wow. All right, mate. Good luck.
It's 100% live, let me tell you.
Hang in there. Matty Fuller, who sits in that chair occasionally as well, he's doing
Matt always does amazing things.
What's he doing? He's doing
some sort of epic marathon the last 26 hours.
As he always does. Amazing, amazing. And he raises a heap of money as well.
He does a great job every year.
Becky,
awesome.
Do you watch telethon?
Of course. I grew up watching telethon.
I grew up watching a telethon
Love
as well.
telethon.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a Western Australian. Only West Australians have this affinity with tennis.
Well, I'm born and bred Perth, so...
Yeah, me
definitely.
too. Slim, are you born and bred?
Born and bred.
Of course you are.
Not many of us left.
Are you born and bred, Alex?
Yep.
Telethon?
Yep. Remember that? My heart goes boom, betty, boom, betty, boom, betty, boom. Goodness
Chantal
gracious
Canturi
me.
and
Dr.
Professor Christian Barnard.
Barnard.
Yeah,
That's it.
I remember.
Yeah, that was great.
Clint?
Love telethon. Hello.
Hello, mate.
First. Yes, I love telethon too.
Yeah,
It
big
is
plug for
such a
telethon.
WA thing.
It is.
It's great.
And it's not too far away for those of you who can get it, who aren't in the East. And if you're not in WA, it's a shame because it's direct
Missing
broadcast.
out.
It's much like Jerry Lewis's telethon in the States. And he's just been awarded something for his community services here in WA as well.
Yeah, good.
There you go, letter one, here we go. I found her cheating on me. I walked in and there was a man's voice coming from the bedroom along with my wife's. I had the good sense to leave immediately and confront her later. She didn't deny it and said that it was only the second time it happened, and in being bored, she decided to have an affair because it was so easy to do. She thought as long as she hit it, I wouldn't get hurt. She doesn't want to break up. She loves me, she says. She loves our life together. She said whilst she found it exciting, she didn't find it fulfilling in the way our relationship is. She also confessed that it might happen again in a moment of weakness. She showed me how easy it was to hook up now with so many websites dedicated to having affairs. She just followed through. Is this what every relationship now will have to endure? I thought to leave her, but what's the point if this is now so normal? Is this a new reality that we have to confront? We were about to start a family, but I have no peace of mind at the moment. Can I have the panel's thoughts, please? It comes to us from Graydon of East Fremantle here in WA. Clint, first to you, sir.
Well, look, there's a few issues going on here for poor old Graydon.
You think?
He's not in a good place. The first thing, he's asked if it's the new reality, if this sort of thing is the new reality. I don't think it's the new reality, but it's certainly becoming a lot more common. It's definitely common, and it's very easy.
Are we
Hence-
close to having it as the new reality then?
Well,
It's growing.
you never know. You never know. It's out there, and it is easy, as this lady is unfortunately proven to Paul Graydon. The trust is gone, unfortunately.
For him it has.
The trust is completely gone here.
And for her, she's a bit of a,
well,
I
yeah.
want everything.
She does want everything. You can't have everything sometimes, love. That's not reality.
Achievers make sacrifices.
Well, that's right. So, look, in terms of starting a family, I wouldn't just yet. If you really must get back with this lady, you'd give it a go for a while first.
Give it a go, see what happens.
But it's hard to win back the trust.
Alex, you're a woman. Why does everybody want to go out and have an affair?
Well, obviously, like he said here, she was bored.
It's his fault.
You know, if you're bored...
Alex always says it's his fault.
But if you're bored, I mean, if she's bored and then what is either you're not very good at what you do in the bedroom because she got bored and then she's gone to find it elsewhere and it was so easy to do. But, you know, the only problem here is that she got caught. And how many men do this to women and they don't get caught? You know, I watched a really good movie the other night, The Other Woman. Oh my God, how hilarious was that? You know, and there was one thing...
That doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't, but there was
hiding
something
it is
in
not the way to go.
There was something that Cameron Diaz said in the movie to the wife and said, look, if you can't handle it, then you either get out of it and move on, or you just accept it, like the French do. You know, they have affairs all the time because monogamy isn't natural. Even Brad Pitt said that, remember?
Monogamy isn't natural.
It's not natural, no.
How very convenient in this age.
You know, bad luck.
So you're arguing that monogamy is not natural?
No, that's
So
not...
this is normal?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's what I was saying that I heard.
Beck, monogamy, natural?
Oh, I don't think in this day and age that we can say anything is normal or natural with everything that's happening. So I think every relationship is different and everyone's free to make their own rules, and however you make your rules, well done to you, but just make sure that your partner's on the same page.
But they haven't made any rules. That's
no,
right.
But that's
They're not on the same page.
To make,
Or maybe they made rules when they got married and all of a sudden she's cheated.
She's bored
Well,
now.
she says that she can't say that she'll never do it again. So if he doesn't want
She's
her to
being
do it
honest
again,
there.
then move on and find someone else.
She's a cheater.
Be on the same page.
She's a cheater. She thought as long as she
But
hit
everybody
it,
makes their own
I wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah. That's true.
Everybody makes their own relationship.
Sure.
I know people who are in open relationships and they've got a different set of rules than the normal constraints of marriage. And I'm a bit more traditional myself, but it works for them. So whatever works for them is fine, but you just need to make sure that you're both on the same page, you're in a relationship together. And for God's sake, do not have a child thinking that it will fix anything, because it won't. Think
Slim,
of that poor child.
Why are people getting bored in their relationships now? What is it with the Western world that's creating so many lures?
Yeah, I think what happens is there's so much out there at the moment. There's so much on display. I mean, the internet, pornography-wise, it's like a David Jones store of like sale of this and sale this, and you know, come and look at that and try this and so forth. And I think basically there's just too many options that apparently you should have either before you were married participated in, or you should consider probably participating in post your marriage, depending on how your relationship's going. But I feel quite connected to Graydon because I too have come home and heard male voices from my bedroom, but I didn't make a mistake like Graydon. I didn't leave the house. I actually entered and my wife was levitating off the bed. And head was spinning 360. She was talking in a man's voice. She was growling, vomiting green bile. I mean, you know, I said, I've got the man flu, dear. But, you know, so I feel a bit of a connection to Graydon on that level. But in earnest terms, I mean, really, you can't have peace of mind, Graydon. If you, as Beck mentioned, you know, if you've got a circumstance where you're in a partnership, it's got to be what's right for the pair of you. And of course, there is a distinction between, in my mind, an affair and the fantasy of an affair. If to keep a relationship spicy or racy is probably the word I'm after. And I think that if you step over the line without the partner's knowledge, well, that's quite damaging. And I agree with Clint. It's certainly going to destroy the trust between you and your partner.
Think twice, Graydon. See how long you can go. Don't have kids yet. When we come back, we're going to talk about why some Australians are seduced by evil. Don't go away. We'll see you soon. You're evil. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter and have it discussed by our panellists, send it to the address that's on your screen. There it is right now. Letters at sweetandsour.net.au. We've also got our little website, which is sweetandsour.net.au. You can like us on Facebook and you can also send us a tweet. And for everyone that sends us in a letter, and we do discuss We're going to send you to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And there it is, lovely picture up there. The Little Death, which is a sex movie, apparently. Anyway, in a foreign language. Dear panellists.
Give us some IKEA instructions on the Do you need an Allen key? That's the burning question.
What the hell is wrong with us? How do we tolerate the auction of an Islamic flag brought from the Syrian battlefield in a Sydney mosque? I think it was a bookstore, actually, raising thousands of dollars for nothing other than terrorism. This is, to me, Australian-sponsored terrorism on our own people. I get that we're up against a primitive 7th century barbaric brainwashed mentality. I can't understand why Australian Muslim people in Sydney would be supporting this utter evil when I have Muslim friends who are all just normal and they don't get this either. People who buy child pornography on the internet are imprisoned in this country for encouraging and promoting heinous crimes. This is identical. These perpetrators who encourage a 7th century misplaced jihad on the entirety of our Western world and do it from our shores need to know they have no place nor acceptance in our society. Why can't we treat these fundraisers for evil the same as we do those who buy child pornography and send them to prison? Is it, as my friends suggest, that everyone is so scared of a mentality that cannot be reasoned with that we do nothing? Coming to us from Sarita of Parkville in Victoria. Slim, are we so scared we're doing nothing? I don't think so.
No, I don't think we're doing nothing, but I've got to tell you that if there is some sort of behaviour from people that have been accepted into this country, be it as a refugee or as a political activist that might be in a bit of strife or whatever, I think they've got to understand that if you're going to be accepted into this country, you're going to have to behave a certain way, and that is to follow what all other Australians follow, which is, the spirituality of the culture, which is very peaceful, diplomacy, tolerance, and so forth. And if you can't do that, really, you shouldn't have come here in the first place. You should have stayed in your own country and basically fought that battle there. You cannot fight that battle on our shores. We're too isolated. As we know, we're probably the most isolated country in the world. And I think that this issues, if they do boil over in Australia, will cause us a lot of grief. I'm actually quite concerned. I do think, finally, our participation in previous campaigns in the Middle East are now coming back to almost bite us on the arse.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that here, especially what's happening at the moment with the in Syria and so on, the amount of violence that I've seen of late, this has to be handled. I totally agree with the government going to help handle a circumstance like this, especially when so many journalists are being beheaded and civilians are being massacred.
It's a humanitarian quest more than anything.
Absolutely, but the previous campaigns, I believe, probably I got tenuous, an attitude that's quite tenuous about why it happened, but in this case I agree with it. But let's leave the fight over there. Let's keep Australia sacred and as safe as we all expect it and want it to be.
Beck, what's your take on this?
Well, I think we've become so multicultural in Australia. We're accepting all sorts of different ideas. Our schools aren't doing Christmas. There's so many things going on.
Different ideas.
Yeah, and it's great, and that's not a problem. But we've got to maintain and have an identity as Australians, embracing other cultures as well. So I think that it boils down to that. Yeah, we do, but we're facing new problems now, such as this, where we haven't had a predecessing situation where we go back to that and say, well, we did this last time, it worked, let's do it again. This is the first for everything. So it's actually, as Slim said, it's quite scary, and it's something that we're going to have to embrace strongly as a country and our government as well.
Alex, why are people so seduced to this idea?
Why are people so seduced to this idea?
Why do young Muslim kids?
Because they've been brought up with that in...
But they're here in Australia.
I know, because we've talked
That's what
about
we
this
have to come
before.
to terms with,
it's coming to the forefront now. There's more and more information coming to us now openly, because remember on 60 Minutes not long ago there was that story of that girl whose father took her back to Syria and married her off when she was very young, and then she ran away and came back, and he threatened to kill her, slash her throat and her mother's throat in front of everyone because he won't change to the Western world. It's like, well, what are you doing here? Go back. And then we could never do what they do in our country. If we were to go there, we couldn't do that because they'd behead you in the street.
They don't do. And most of those people who came over here, right, have escaped that sort of...
Yeah, I mean, there's always the minority, though.
They're
that
not
are
a
gonna-
minority. 95% of people are
Yeah, but
born
you just
into their
said, who
culture.
are these people? And they're the minority.
They are the minority.
Did you forget what you
They
said
are-
to me,
They
Daddy?
are a minority.
Okay.
They are.
So
right.
they're the minority that's teaching their children to be like that. And it's
Oh.
like, it's scary.
God.
You're right, it's scary.
Clint, last word on this one.
Look, the last sentence sums it up, I think. Is everyone scared of a mentality that cannot be reasoned with? I mean, I'm scared. I can't reason with it. I don't know what to do about it. I don't think our government knows. None of us understand it either. None of us
We're
understand
coming to terms with it.
We're being forced to come to terms with it, and we absolutely shouldn't. Like Slim said, if you come over to our country, you must live a peaceful life.
I think
the
most of
way
our
that we
Muslim
live.
people don't know what to do about it
That's
either.
right. Their own
Yeah.
people
No,
don't
the
even know
ones
what
that
to
are
do with it
peaceful,
anymore.
yeah.
So what chance do we have as a peace-loving nation to try and fight it? You can't.
It'll
You
be
just
an
can't.
ongoing issue for a long time yet. When we come back, we're talking about Malcolm Turnbull's closure of community TV across Australia. Don't go away.
My ambition, besides starring on Sweet and Sour with Gary, is to win lotto, quit work and hang out on my yacht.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Dear Sweet and Sour, it's quite obvious Malcolm Turnbull doesn't have any compassion for much in his life other than the big commercial dollar, because his unilateral decision to take all community TV stations across the nation off air is utterly immoral. That's us. That's us right here. Apparently, they can sell the broadcasting spectrum for a bigger dollar to commercial operators. That's just bull dust. We all know there are so many numbers on our dial unallocated, and about 10 that they have given out for nothing other than selling exercise equipment, NutriBullets, kitchen appliances and Wonder Bras. And in that alone, Turnbull shows his colours. He would rather permit the broadcasting of 10 mindless selling stations in every state rather than one community station dedicated to volunteers, training, community groups, local sporting groups, charity groups, etc. To use the Aussie vernacular, he's a wanker. Turnbull also said that community stations would be better off heading to broadcast on the internet, but at the same time, he failed to offer any help to provide such facilities for them. There is frankly no material reason, economic or otherwise, for this to happen. To me, it's just mean-spirited, possibly based on a philosophical hatred of all things community and non-commercial. He's a multi-millionaire accustomed to losing, so he's hit those who don't have the means to hit back. Community TV has never been about corporate dollars and political muscle. That's why it's community, for heaven's sake. And I suspect he really doesn't care. But generally, people above the age of 40 don't watch TV on the internet. In the main, this is the demographic turning into community. From a well-respected politician, he's turned into a mean-spirited loser. Perhaps his frustration at 1, losing the leadership to Abbott, 2, losing his climate change deal with ex-PM Kevin Rudd, and 3, being the minister responsible for delivering a second-rate national broadband scheme that has turned him sour and stupid. So please discuss and do something about this, Sweet and Sour. We're doing that, Daniel of North Adelaide, and first of all we're going to Beck. Community TV being switched off.
Oh, it's sacrilegious. I think it's sacrilegious. And surprise, surprise, here we are talking about a politician being an idiot again. Well, that's the norm, isn't it? Well, in my opinion, it is anyway. Mean-spirited, heartless and money-grabbing, that's all they tend to be. I'm saddened by the thought of losing community TV. Flicking channels and seeing faces that you may know and hearing tough topics and subjects that you want to learn and want to hear about and discuss. It's important for us, and who needs another NutriBullet, and who needs anything else like that being sold to me? I need to hear what's going on in the minds of the people that live in my state and the minds of people that care about the same things I care about.
Can I tell you that this program alone, just one program, has been responsible for training up all these kids behind these cameras over 16 years. There are hundreds of them that are trained up, and these kids here, these kids right here on this program, Sweet and Sour, are the ones that go and land jobs out there. That's just one community
market.
Yeah.
in a commercial market.
Yeah.
Good on you, Malcolm. Sorry, Slim.
Yeah, no, look, twofold. This letter's got two angles. One is having a go at Malcolm Turnbull, and secondly is obviously the demise of of the community TV station licence. Now, my opinion is that obviously Malcolm Turnbull is only the face of the government. There must be a reason
He's the
behind
communications
it.
minister.
But whoever
with
made a
bent-
decision about eradicating a licence for community TV in Australia is a wanker. End of story. Because as Gary rightly mentioned, the amount of training that goes on in a facility like this for so many years, and it's benefited so many people that have actually become tax-paying workers in this industry, well, to me, that was worth its weight of just having the licence perpetuated forever as it stands. But, you know, I do think that the Liberal government needs to look at it very carefully. The federal Liberal government needs to look at this very carefully. We must retain community TV, and as far as I'm concerned, all the participants here, all the participants, the viewers out there, should be getting on the phone to your local member and doing something about it. Quick, smart.
Call tomorrow, please, Clint.
Look, how can you disagree with anything that's been said so far? You just can't. I mean, as it says, community TV. People tune in, they watch, they write in. Why? Because it's a community. They feel part of that community. They want to be a part of it. Exactly like you said, Gary. All these kids here, they need jobs, they need training.
This is replicated right across the country.
That's
but
absolutely
no longer.
correct. Absolutely correct.
And to think that people are going to swap culture immediately and tune on TV in the internet. There's no television guide for the internet.
That's right.
Where do you find a TV station? Good on you, Malcolm.
And older people don't want to
Alex?
use the
You
internet.
know, a lot of people, like they say that some people don't even get the internet. So how can they go on and watch it? I get questioned a lot about this station. They go, oh, geez, it's this and that. And I go, well, did you realise that it's a community station and it's training young men and women to become into a field that they're interested in doing, and they do a great job. They don't get paid for it, we don't get paid for it, it's all voluntary. And the only thing is we can all rant and rave about it, but we have to do something about it to get our voices heard to the public. I'm looking at the wrong camera again. That one. So yeah,
You've only been here 10 years.
I know. I was looking at that one. Anyway, but we need to do something about it. Need to get a petition going, right? Like Slim was saying, contact your local
Member.
everything. We should talk to, what's his name?
Do you like this letter to give
Yeah,
away the
we've
pair
got
of
to get
limited
behind
edition
it.
Totally.
sunnies,
do it.
courtesy of our mate Alon Dreves at Aussie Opticals?
Yes.
You do? On the
Daniel,
Get Buyers here?
Daniel, you've got a good point.
Have to.
He's your mate too, isn't he, Alon?
He is my mate. Sometimes.
All right, this side of the panel, do we like this letter to give away the best?
Absolutely love it.
Coming out to
Good call.
Daniel of North Adelaide, we have to spend on postage, but guess what? It's probably worth it on this occasion. A pair of limited edition sunnies, courtesy of Alon Dreves. Thank you, panellists. Slim, good luck
Gary.
on telephone.
Thank you, mate.
All right.
October 25 and 26.
In Perth?
In Perth. So if you're watching, make sure you view the entire 26 hours. See if you can do the marathon.
Good on you. Good luck with it. We'll have you back
Cheers,
after the
mate.
show.
I
All right.
appreciate it. Thank
Becky,
you.
you'll be watching telephone too,
I'll be
right?
there. Coffee.
Terrific
I'll
to see.
watch it.
Actually, we'll have you back next week as well.
Okay, good.
All right.
Yeah, bonus.
How about, actually, Becky,
Yeah,
wanna
I'll come back.
we'll get everybody back. I like their views on community TV.
I might even donate a painting to Telethon this year.
Good.
That'd be great.
Clint,
Something
coming
like
back next week.
I'll be back.
Thank all of our panellists, thank our terrific crew, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. See you next week with the same faces. Good night.
That was good.
Good segment.